about value ladders and offer stacks to help you actually be able to do that. And you might be wondering, gee, Jim, how can a value ladder and an offer stack help me have my best year ever? Well, I'm glad you asked, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So, truth is, I actually accidentally discovered the offer stack back in 2001. I was at a conference in Boulder, Colorado, had learned about one-page sales letters and was trying to convert my 40-page website down to a one-page sales letter. And I finally saw the light as far as how to do that. And I originally thought, bottom line, I took my 40-page sales letter, I reduced it down to a one-page sales letter, one of those big long ones. And I took a bunch of the stuff that I had been giving away for free and I turned it into bonuses. And my sales went up 250% overnight. And that was a huge game changer for me. And initially I thought, wow, I discovered the sales letter. But what I had really discovered was how to make a better offer. And what I had created was an offer stack. And the result of having that offer stack was that people bought, and they didn't just buy a little bit, they bought a bunch, to the point that it actually changed my life. And I learned an important truth that I want to pass on to you, is that people buy offers and they don't buy products. Yeah, they buy products, but people get excited about offers. Make me an offer I can't refuse, and you can change your life. So, this is why we're talking today. If you want to have your best year ever, you got to get your value ladder squared away and you got to figure out offer stacks. And there's a great time of year to be talking about this. Any time of year is a great time of year to be talking about this. And so why does this matter? Well, this matters because most people don't have an offer, and if they do, their offer sucks. And most people don't have a well thought out value ladder. So if they have anything at all, most people have a product, they're trying to sell their product, and they'll say something like, you know what, I'll worry about this later once I start making a bunch of sales. Well, the problem is that it's actually pretty easy to start making sales. And if you don't have this stuff squared away from the beginning, it's really hard to go back and do it later. Because without this, then you're basically just doing random promotions. You are that person that's sending the email every week with the next latest and greatest thing. Just look in your email box and you'll see those people. They always have the greatest thing. I can think of 5 people off the top of my head that they've always got the latest and greatest. This is going to be the thing that's going to change everything for us this week. It also, without this, leads to inconsistent revenue because you don't have a plan. You don't have a way to matriculate people because there's no path. And when there's no path, people leave because there's no vision. In the Bible, it says, where there's no vision, the people perish. And where there's no vision for where you're going to take the folks, they leave. And probably the most important part of this is that you're going to get exhausted. Your audience is going to get confused, but you don't have any organization, which means you're not going to get any kind of consistent results and your life is just really going to suck. Now, with this, with having a clearly defined value ladder, with understanding that every item on your value ladder has an offer stack that goes with it, you're going to have very clear direction. You know exactly where you're going and you can get the folks to follow you. Every promotion has a destination and a reason for you to be doing it. And customers are able to see the path. They're able to see how they're going to go from A to Z and how you're going to be the one that's going to help them do that. And when customers see the path, then you become the obvious next step. You become the person who literally can lead them down the path from where they are to where they want to go. And the key point to all of this, and I want you to understand as we're going through this, is you don't have to have it all done in order to get started. You just need to define it so that you know where you're going. Okay, I remember college, way before cell phones, way before GPS. I was able to make it all the way from Williamsburg, Virginia to Key West, Florida, even though I had never done that before, because I had a map. And we knew how to get to 64. We knew how to take 64 to 95. We knew how to take 95 to US 1. And then we just kept going south until we saw signs for cold beer. That's all you got to know in order to get started. You got to have the map defined. But I've known people in the past who are like, okay, well, I'm going to plan out my whole value ladder. And once I've got every single thing in place, I'm going to get started. Then I'll start selling. No, that's dumb. You define the map and you make your first offer, and you know where you're trying to go. Okay, so don't fall into that. So let's really dive into this now. Let's get a little bit basic. And the question is, what is an offer stack? Now, the cool thing is we got all kinds of cool genies and what have you that are going to help you to define this and figure this out and be able to come up with all kinds of cool offer stacks and then lock them in and have the software be able to put them into sales letters and emails and ads and articles and calls to action and all kinds of amazing stuff. But if you don't know what the hell we're even doing and why we're doing it, then it's not going to make any hill of beans difference for me to show you the tool until you understand at its core what is an offer stack. An offer stack is what you get, but it's made up of very specific parts. And those parts are important because that's what makes people want to buy. So every offer stack has the core offer in it. This is the core thing. This is the main thing. This is the home study course that gets them whatever the promise is, whatever the payoff is, whatever the result is that you're promising. Okay? Promise, payoff, result, problem solved, whatever the thing is that's leading them to want to potentially spend money with you ultimately comes down to you're making a promise of a payoff, a result, or a problem solved. So we're going to set that aside for a second. So it's the main thing. It's the home study course that's going to show them how to get the result. It's the 3-day training. It's the software. It's the whatever it is. Okay. But that in and of itself oftentimes it's not sexy enough by itself. We got to make it amazing. Okay. When you have a party, you don't just have a keg, you have a keg and you have hot dogs and you have hamburgers and you have coleslaw and you have watermelon and you have potato chips and a whole bunch of stuff. And that's what takes it from just being idiots standing around with a keg to, wow, this is an amazing cookout. So we want to have the core offer, but then we got to add other stuff. So then we look at adding things that we'll call enhancers. And what do enhancers do? They make it faster. So this is the kind of stuff where part of your offer could be a piece of software or a checklist or some coaching or something where it's like, hey, you don't have to do this and this and this because this is going to do it for you, or this is going to be your shortcut. Then what you're going to have are things we'll call multipliers. And typically, A multiplier, you want to think about this, is something that makes it easier for you to get the result. So again, this might be a piece of software, or it might be something that makes it so that you could multiply your effort. If you really think about it, a lot of what the genies are multipliers. They multiply your ability to do something. They make you a superhero. Another way to think about this, we've talked about this in the past, is eliminating the need for them to have some sort of a skill or some sort of knowledge. So they're not having to know something, they're not having to know how to do something because you've got something that it eliminates the need for it, or it just does it for them. Another thing that you can add are risk removers. What's a risk remover? Well, that might be, hey, you know what? Here's some coaching. Here's somebody that can help you. Here's somebody who's going to take you by the hand. Or you don't have to worry about doing this because we're going to actually do this for you. Another thing that you can add, and you don't have to add all of these, but these are things to think about as you're putting together a really, 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 really good offer stack, is some sort of fast action bonus. And we're going to talk more about bonuses here in a bit. But we also, as part of our offer, want to give people a reason to act now. Because if they don't have a reason to act now, they're not going to act. Okay? And that's why you see a lot of time deadlines and stuff with particular offers, because it's like, hey, this is going to take place on this date. In fact, I saw somebody I know very well sending out a big email this morning. They have some event starting today. And it's like, hey, if you don't sign up today, then the price is going to double. Okay, as soon as the event starts, the price doubles. You can still sign up, but the price is doubled. If you think about that, that's, so what you're saying is one of the bonuses is a 50% off discount when you sign up beforehand. So there are things that you can build into your offer stack that make people buy now. Typically, it's a quantity or a time deadline of some type. Only the first 100 people can do it. You have to sign up by this date. Something, though, you can build into that offer. And these are the things a lot of times that people will key in on that actually push them over the edge to buy. And the key phrase here when you're thinking this through or when you're explaining it to people is, and you also get, okay? So you're going to get the home study course that's going to teach you exactly how to turn words into traffic, exactly how you're going to be able to take simple articles and use them to drive tons and tons of targeted traffic to your website. We're also going to include the Web Weasel software that's going to show you exactly who's out there publishing articles that you could go out and help them by offering your articles to them. We're also going to, and you also get our 30 proven article templates to help you create a professional level article in 10 minutes or less. You're also going to get a 30-minute one-on-one consultation with me on exactly how to put together your strategy for being able to do all of this. And I'm going to help you come up with your own personal checklist and roadmap to make this happen. And when you order by December 31st or whatever, then you are also going to get a $300 off coupon that is going to make this an even greater investment for you. Now, I just riffed that off the top of my head, but when you're looking at it, main offer, something that they can help them do it faster, something that'll help them do it easier, something that removes the risk, gives them additional support, and then a reason to act now. You have put more thought into your offer stack than, I don't know, go out and look at most people's offer. Most people aren't even making an offer, and those that are making an offer are just slap assing something together, and it's, it is what it is. So that's an offer stack. So what is and by the way, anything you ever sell, or anything you ever offer needs an offer stack, even if it's a freebie. And you're like, really, Jim? Yeah. Do I have to do that, Jim? Yeah, only if you want to succeed. Only if you want to succeed should you do an offer stack with every offer that you ever make. There you go. Okay, so that's an offer stack. So what is a value ladder? Well, in a nutshell, a value ladder is a map of things that you sell or will offer or could offer. And it's the big picture of what your business looks like for your audience. And another way of saying it is basically a sequence of offers. Now, this sequence of offers typically is thought of in a good, better, best, or a free all the way up to high ticket. It's low ticket all the way up to, big time. So if we really want to think about this, we could say, okay, down here, your value ladder is the free stuff. And the free stuff people typically look at as this is getting people through the door. Okay, this is what opens the door. And then all the way up here at the top, we have elite premium level stuff. Okay, this is the 10K plus. And for some people, it's like, really, that's cheap. Other people are like, oh my God, give me 10 grand. It's all relative. Okay, this would be the least expensive free thing you got. This would be the most expensive. Holy crap, 1,000 people get this and maybe 10 people get this. All right. And in between, you have stuff low ticket, mid ticket, okay, high ticket, and then ultra, which is totally just made up because I put one too many steps in here. Watch, I'll fix this just so I can keep it. All right. So high, ultra high, ticket. This would be your mastermind, stuff like that. Now, why do I even need to know this? Okay, well, because if I don't know where the hell anybody's going to go, even in my mind, and why I'm doing stuff, then in my mind, like when I'm creating this low ticket thing, and then I'm struggling to get the thing sold, and then I'm blowing more money on Facebook ads than I'm bringing in, and then I stand there and I kick rocks and I go, holy shit, why am I doing this? If I know the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm getting customers in here and I need to make some sort of a mid-tier or high ticket offer to them really, really soon, and this is what I think it's going to be, then it gives me purpose. It gives me a solid why, and it gives me a target to shoot for instead of washing around and 3 months, 4 months, 5 months goes by and I'm still getting ready to get ready. You got to know what the heck you're doing, because if you don't know where they're going to go, they sure as hell aren't going to know where they're going to go, and they even are not even going to get a sense from you that there is anywhere to go. So you don't have to have all of this ready, okay? But you do have to know what this looks like. Now, the next thing is, again, this creates your customer path, but some people think, okay, well, I have to start here with the free. Hell no. The reason why I say that is because this is the hardest thing to do, is to make money by giving something away. Yet this is where everybody and their brother tells you to start. At a minimum, you're going to start here. This is why I tell people you want to start with a book, or you're going to want to start with a course or a very simple coaching program. Okay, and courses and coaching are pretty much mid. Now, what price stuff are we talking about here? Okay, so book, we're talking 10, 20 bucks. Course, coaching, we're talking anywhere from 100 to 400 or 500 bucks. High ticket, we're talking 1,000 plus, and ultra high ticket, we're talking 5K to 10K plus. Now you're like, well, there's a big difference between 100 and 400 and a grand. Hey, it's relative, okay? Don't worry about that. But this now gives you something to think about. Now, with the 20K, I mean, with the 20K book, I wish I had a 20K book. For the 20 bucks for a book, if you really want to make this work, you got to have some stuff built into this. And that's why we need to think about this value ladder isn't just a ladder of steps, but it's a ladder of offers. So each one of these steps is designed with an offer to maximize value for the customer and to maximize profit for you. Okay? So what that means is that, and this is where we're going to kind of blur the line a little bit between offers and funnels and sales letters and all that good stuff. But if you've got a low ticket right here with a book, say it's 10, 20 bucks, whatever it is, you want to have an offer or a funnel where people can pay you 20 bucks for the book, plus, let's say, 20 bucks for some sort of a order bump, and then, which is before they buy, and then 100 bucks for a one-time offer. And now all of a sudden we transform this $20 book into potentially making $140. Same thing with your coaching and your course. Okay. Course might be offered for 97 bucks, but then you're offering 97. Maybe you've got some type of an order bump for another 97 bucks. And then you make a one-time offer for some sort of 1 hour of coaching or something like that. And we'll say that's 500 bucks. Okay. So now instead of $100, we're up to somewhere around $700 potential. Same thing up here. So this is where we're not just thinking about these as steps, but we're thinking about them as individual offers, as funnels, as a way to maximize this spot on the value ladder. And if you do that, that's how you can make a hell of a lot more money, because you've got a plan. You're able to cast that vision for the customer, and they're able to see, hey, I'm solving a problem here, but I'm experiencing a transformation as I follow this along. Okay. And that's where we want them to see themselves, is standing up here at the top with you, helping them to transcend everything. But again, if you've never defined this, how can you help them have a vision? Because here's the thing you need to understand. This is one of those woo things, okay? We're not selling products here. We are selling ascension. We are selling transformation. That's what we're selling. So we get them to buy because we're going to satisfy a desire. We get them to buy again and keep coming back and follow us because they're going somewhere. All right. Now, here's the other thing you need to understand, and I'm probably going to mention this more than once. You don't have to start here. You don't have to start here. You can start wherever it makes sense for you to start. It's interesting. I was standing on the gym boat, the very first gym boat. Got a bunch of people come from all around the world. And I was teaching about this. I was teaching about creating multiple offers. And I said, hey, how many of you started out buying one of my ebooks? And, out of all the people there, 20, 30 people 20% raise their hand. And I'm like, oh crap. Okay. Well, how many of you bought one of my courses? And about 20% raised their hand. I went through everything. Half the room had never raised their hand. I said, how many of you, this cruise is the first thing you ever bought from me? And half the room put their hands up. And I was like, yeah, I was kind of like, what the hell are you doing here? I didn't say it like that. But to a person, basically what they said was, I've been following you for a year, 2 years, however long. And this is the first thing you sold that I wanted to buy. I was like, holy crap. Now, if I had made them start here and never even exposed them to the stuff up here until they had followed every single step the way I said, half the people on the boat never would have shown up. So don't feel like you have to start in any one particular place. You start where it makes most sense for you, and you build it out, but don't force people to go through it exactly that way. Now, who would like to know my secret weapon for winning affiliate contests? I was the #1 affiliate for John Reese's original Traffic Secrets launch. I was the #1 affiliate 10 years or however many years later, maybe longer than that, when Russell Brunson did his Traffic Secrets book launch. I was the #1 affiliate for Ryan Deiss's Continuity Blueprint. I've been #1, top 2, top 3 affiliate for some of the biggest launches in the history of the internet. Who would like to know my #1 secret for this whole thing that you can apply to all of this? Okay. Let me know if you want to know. Now I'll tell you anyway. But here's the thing. Here is a principle that you need to understand. And it's really simple. People want what they can't have. Now, this applies to dating. This applies to a lot of stuff. And there are several principles that I have learned in life. One is people tend to do what they've always done, and people want what they can't have. So when you have an offer, okay, and you have your offer stack, easiest way to differentiate between these is the offer is a promise, and the offer stack is how you deliver the promise. Okay, there's some shortcut there. But, and this goes back to the why people should buy now thing. If you have a bonus, and if I could spell bonus, that'd be amazing. But if you have a bonus that is so OMG cool that somebody says, holy crap, I want that bonus more than I want the offer, people will buy. So what you want to do is position this so that they want the bonus and they know they need the offer. Okay. So you think about like a weight loss thing. It's like, hey, I'm gonna got my thing. You can lose weight and exercise isn't too uncomfortable and other stuff like that. And you need it. It's gonna do it. That kind of thing. But when you buy today, I'm gonna include 50 of our pre-mixed shakes that taste like cotton candy. In fact, listen, these people, it's like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever had. And they're like, oh my God, I mean, you mean I can just sit around and drink shakes that are laced with amphetamine and I'm going to lose weight? Yep, absolutely. Legal in one state, altered. But here's the thing. You make the bonus so insanely, unbelievably amazing that they want the bonus and they buy because of the bonus, but they're happy to get the offer because they know they need that anyway. But the only way they can get the bonus is by buying. This is not available any other way. And if you do that, you'll kill it. And typically, again, we think as far as the bonuses are concerned, you probably heard me talk about this before, but there are a couple of ways to come up with a bonus that is an absolute total no-brainer. Number one is to take your competitor's unique selling proposition and give it away as a bonus. So if a competitor is doing something, if they're offering something, if they're teaching something, you offer, teach, give something that gets the exact same result for people, but they don't have to pay the competitor because you're including it. The other thing is to look at, and again, we've talked about this before, but knowledge, skill, resources, and support. Okay. Anything that teaches them something they need to know, anything that gives them a skill that they don't have now or eliminates the need for it, anything that gives them a resource that they know they're going to have to pay for, but they really don't want to. That's why I love giving away software as a bonus, especially if it's software that does what a competitor's does. And then support can be in the form of direct support one-on-one. It can be in the form of a group. It can be in the form of group coaching, or like I said, a group like a Facebook group or something like that. But the biggest thing you want to do, if I was going to sum all of this stuff up, is that these bonuses eliminate all excuses. So if you sit down or you go in, you use Genie Chat and tell it about your customer and have it come up with all the objections that somebody can have. We have another Genie in there that'll help you with that, with the webinar enhancement Genie, or I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, too much going on. But you come up with the list of all the objections somebody would have to this bonus, and then you to this offer. You come up with a list of all the objections somebody would have to this offer, and you eliminate them with a bonus or with bonuses. And the reason why you do it with bonuses rather than baking it into the product is because then you can use the bonus as leverage to make them buy. If it's included with the product, then they can buy anytime. If they're included with the bonuses, then you can have bonuses appearing and disappearing. You can make the bonuses time limited without affecting the fact and playing stupid games where people say, you'll never be able to buy this past next Wednesday. And then next Wednesday come and they're like, oh, well, you know, my friend asked me to make this available a little bit longer so they could, and it's all that bullshit that people do. Offer stack is set, but you use the bonuses to play games with making people buy now. You can have bonuses that go away. You can have bonuses that reappear. All right. So now, what do we have inside of copy and content that can help you with all of this stuff? I'm glad you asked. And we're going to take a quick peek at a couple of things that I think can really help you. So give me one sec. I got everything set up, but I got to share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so we got 3 things that can help you with brainstorming and then codifying, putting all of this in such a way that it will be helpful for you. So the first one is the Value Ladder Genie. And what the Value Ladder Genie does is it helps you to brainstorm stuff that could be in your value ladder. Now, some of you may already know what and I'm going to do this, and this. But my experience is that most people don't know what the heck they want to do. So this is pretty cool in that if you don't have any idea what you want to sell, you don't have something already squared away, you can just talk into the easy button and you can tell it, okay, so let me give you an example. My name is Jim Edwards, and I have an extensive background in real estate. I spent 10 years as a mortgage broker and a top performing real estate agent. I'm expert in selling your house yourself, as well as creative financing. And I help specifically people who want to sell their house and pay the and not pay the commission, or avoid paying the commission to do so. Okay, so there you go. Now I saw a question come in. We'll do questions at the end. All right, so this will go through and it will fill out all the stuff. Okay, and you know what? I did a pretty good job. So this is more or less just to help me to be able to come up with a value ladder. Now, what this then does is each one of these genie wishes will help generate ideas for various things on the value ladder at various levels. So lead gen level, low ticket, mid range, high ticket, premium, ultra, and then it'll also generate specific for a specific product type, which will be more important here in just a second. But I'll let it run here, just show you the kind of stuff that it comes up with. Now, while that's going, for some of you who already in the system have an avatar, you have your user profile, and you have at least one offer, then you're cooking with gas and you're able to really make this work for you quickly with something you're already doing. But as an example, so it's saying, based on your credentials, ideal customer avatar, it's saying, okay, a free thing you could do a homeowner's guide to selling without a realtor, creative financing options for home sales. That's actually a good idea. Online calculator, 3 secrets selling your house fast, essential steps to prepare your home. But you see, each one of these is kind of a quick hit problem solver thing, door opener. And then down here, it gives you an idea for an entire value ladder all the way up. Okay. So that's one way of doing it down there. You can do them all individually. The point here is that this helps you come up with quick ideas to be able to plan out your value ladder, or to maybe help you to be able to cobble one together. So if I do new project here, so let's say I've already got an avatar and other stuff squared away. So we'll do this for my book. So I'm looking for the no sales bestseller book avatar. So I load my avatar, then I load my profile for Jim User Profile and no sales bestseller, and then the offer for the actual book of the no sales bestseller book itself. So now I've loaded all of that stuff, and it's a book. And idea types, let's look for out of the box. So it's a book, and then all this other stuff's been filled in, because this is work I've already done for the book that I wrote, that, by the way, is a real book right here, the No Book Sales Blueprint, how to profit multiple ways from your book without depending on retail sales. So now I can just hit the build button, and this is going to help me generate ideas for how to build out my value ladder based around the book. Now, the book isn't at the bottom of the value ladder. This is, the next level up. So let's look here. Based on your impressive credentials, woohoo, look at me. 10 proven ways to monetize your book beyond retail sales. So these are all freebies that I can do to get people through the front door. Now, the other thing is that these are also a lot of times good ideas for other content that you could do. So this will be ideas perhaps for sales, or not sales copy, but like, blog posts, newsletters, articles, quick videos, stuff like that. Um, so 5 authors turn their books into profitable ventures. That's actually a cool idea. We got case studies for that. Okay, I don't want to get locked in here, but low ticket. So a webinar, workbook, templates. So those are cool. Mid-range, masterclass. All right, help people do that, develop their plan. Virtual writing retreat. That's kind of cool. Thank you, Larry. Larry says good book. Larry left me an awesome review for that book. High ticket. So anyway, this is going to help me come up with those cool ideas. So that's the first tool that can help you. Next tool, all right, is some of you may not have an offer yet. So if you don't have an offer, which comes first, the offer or the value ladder? It's really 6 one, half dozen another. You can come up with your value ladder first, or you can come up with an offer first and then go back and apply a value ladder to it. It doesn't really matter. Okay. We're all adults here. You can figure this out. It's not crazy like Catholic school crazy as far as the rules. So offer brainstorm genie. This one's pretty straightforward. This will help you brainstorm potentially some really cool ideas. Now let me show you something fun if it's still in there. It overwrote it. I'm basically just going to tell it the same thing that I did before. Okay. My name is Jim Edwards, and I have 10 plus years of real estate experience, particularly in mortgage financing and in the area of helping sellers sell their homes without a real estate agent because they either can't afford to pay the commission or they don't need to pay the commission. Okay. So that's it. I mean, I'm not going to tell it anything else. And so this is going to help me to brainstorm some offers. So it'll help me brainstorm a complete offer stack, more creative thoughts, and then can brainstorm services, e-com, benefit stack. If I wanted to offer some coaching, which I'm a big fan of, if you don't have something to sell, offering coaching is the fastest way for you to be able to make an offer fast to see if people will bite. Because all you need is some sales copy and some traffic, and you can see whether you're making an offer that anybody is willing to pay for or not. But if we come back up here to the top, it's giving me some ideas. Hey, here's an idea. Main solution, commission-free home seller's blueprint, comprehensive guide and toolkit, how to sell your home fast for top dollar without paying commission to agents, all from the comfort of your living room. That's a good promise. Save thousands, gain insider knowledge, streamline the selling process. Dang, these are good. And by the way, you can just drop this right into the next thing that I'm going to show you. And then what do they get? They get the ultimate seller's checklist, home marketing mastery guide, DIY home staging secrets, the seller's negotiation toolkit, access to the private seller community, and the bonus tax benefits and strategies for home sellers, summary of all the elements. Here you get this and this and this, and it gives you some values and stuff, but you can do whatever you want with that. But look at that. We went from nothing to a pretty cool idea. And then down here's more stuff. Okay. So those are more ideas on how you could put together your offer. And I don't know, I kind of like this one better just because it's more. But down here with the coaching, okay, Sell Smart DIY Home Selling Masterclass. What's included? Get all the stuff, one-on-one consultation. So this gives me a bunch of different coaching, group coaching, one-on-one coaching ideas. So again, this is a tool that's going to help you to plan out your offer. And then the last tool that I want to show you that we've got, and I'm just going to grab all this stuff, okay? Because this is like cheating. So let's say I like this, or I'll take this and I'll make, some changes to it, what have you. All right. I come over here to the offer profile full stack wizard. And what this does, when you saw me here on the value ladder and I was loading my avatar, loading my profile, and loading my offer, this load your offer is the one that you create using this wizard. So when I create my offer stack in here, I can then load it into any other genie or any other wizard in our system that requires you to have some sort of an offer. So it saves you a ton of time, and it keeps all of your results super, super consistent. So saves time, increases efficiency, and should increase your profitability. What a deal. So one of the ways to fill this out is to go through and fill it out. Ask you a bunch of questions about your offer, all the stuff that you get. You can have as many elements as you want in your offer. And if you want to have multiple elements in your offer, all you do is just click on here, add another. So we'll click that a few times. And then I said I was going to show you how to cheat. So watch this. All the stuff that it created over here in the offer brainstorm, let's say that I liked it or made a few little tweaks, I can just copy and paste that into the easy button, whack the easy button, and instead of me having to fill all this out, the easy button is going to go through and it's going to help me fill this out based on the work I did over here in the offer brainstorm genie. And so it fills this thing out. So now I've got, and the one thing I didn't have in here, I didn't hit that enough times. So it left out the one about the bonus for the tax benefit and strategies for home sellers. So you know what? I'll add that in. I'll click add another one. This will only take me like 30 seconds. And what would we say that was worth? 97 bucks. And yeah, so we'll paste this in. And last but not least, and I can come up here and save this. We'll save it. So probably need to double check the total amount, but now writing style, we'll go with entrepreneur. But look at this. I got my whole offer stack down. I'd like to check out my comprehensive guide and toolkit, commission-free home sellers blueprint at whatever the domain is, so you can maximize your profit as a seller without losing thousands to agent commission. So this puts together everything. So now I've got an amazing offer, and it'll also make suggestions on titles. It'll make suggestions on promises, big benefits, and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, once I've got an offer, it'll go through and help me to dial it in, tweak it, and to make it even more amazing. So I can just come up here, make little changes, dial it in, and then save it. But once I've got that, I have my offer locked in, and I've got a value ladder set up so I could go through And in an afternoon, literally in an afternoon, I could go through and create my entire value ladder, and then I could create an amazing offer for each level on my value ladder. And then I could decide where I wanted to start. And the cool thing about doing it that way is that you don't have the restrictions of, well, did you really do that? Or do I already have that? One of the smartest things you can ever do in your business is to design everything ahead of time without any restrictions and then just deliver on those promises rather than trying to fit your janky, half thought out something or other that you've been jerking around with for a while without any real good thought and trying to ram it into this process. I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's better to set all that existing stuff aside, define the ideal value ladder, define the ideal offer for each rung on that ladder, and then see what you already have that you could plug in, and then figure out what else you need to do to fix and then or to make it that offer come true, and then pick the one on the value ladder that it makes the most sense for you to go through and do first. Okay. So, whew, that was a lot. But here's the thing you need to understand, and then I'll answer some questions. Okay. Do you need an offer stack? Yes. Does every rung on your value ladder need an offer stack? Yes. Okay. And the value ladder is the journey. We're selling the ascension. We're creating the vision. We're creating the map so that you know where you're leading people. So even if you don't ever tell them exactly what the value ladder is, you have that confidence and assurance and that quality about you that people say, you know what? I know that dude knows where he's going. I know that dudette knows where she's going. They know exactly where they're going. And it just, you have a different feeling about you when you know where you're going, you know what you're doing, you know why you're doing it, and you can explain it. Okay. And then the last thing is that bonus stack, using bonuses to make people buy now, because you create something that they want that they can't have any other way. And I'm going to bring it back full circle because I didn't quite finish it. How did I use this to be the number one affiliate for all the different affiliate things? Easy. I created an amazing bonus stack that enhanced the offer that was being made by the person who was launching the product. But the only way you could get that bonus stack, which made that offer even better, was to buy the offer through me. And all I did, instead of everybody else is out there trying to sell people on the offer that's being made by the merchant, and I'm out here selling everybody on all the cool stuff that they're going to get for free if they just buy the thing that they know they need through me. So everybody else is out there telling them why they need to buy this, and I'm out here telling them why they need to buy this from me because I've got all this cool stuff. So all of my goodies are free. I'm a good guy. I'm just making it easier for you to do something you know you already want to do already. That, in a nutshell, is how you do it. But you don't have to do it necessarily just for other people's stuff. Why don't you take the time to do that for your own stuff? Especially if you want to make this year your best year ever. Okay, let me look questions real quick. Susan, we got any questions I need to hit? Just looking through. Is the user profile referring to the user profile wizard or something else? The user profile comes from the output of the user profile wizard. So I'll show you real quick. All right. So if you come up here and you go to the dashboard and you look over here where it says user, and you click on user, and it says user profile wizard. The stuff that you fill in here and then save is what gets loaded when you click on load profile. Okay, so it doesn't say user profile, it just says load profile. Ron says, wow, great use of the bonus and affiliate marketing. Awesome. Chelsea says, what tool steps would you recommend once you have your offer defined to get it to your audience if you don't have a funnel set up? That's good. We have plenty of stuff on that. Okay, we got a bunch of stuff in there on how to set up a funnel and even how to set it up and go high level. So once you do that, go in, we'll show you how to write a sales letter. We show you how to set up a funnel, all kinds of good stuff. Thomas says, how do you come up with ideas for the bonuses? Here you go. Ready? Offer brainstorm, Genie. That's how you do it. Anything that's here could, just envision that as a bonus. Okay. Another thing you can do on your offer profile full stack wizard, once you've got your whole stack in there, down here, it'll make suggestions, okay, for other stuff. Genie stack, so it'll do some title suggestions, headline, big benefit, individual stacks, copywriting goodies, all that stuff. So this is all about really dialing in your stuff. But all the way down here on wish number 8, offer expansion suggestions. Okay, so this is giving you some ideas for some add-ons: home seller, timeline planner, social media marketing swipe file, virtual staging, software trial access. So some additional things that could be a bonus. What's the difference between something in your offer stack and a bonus? Call it a bonus. Not being a smart aleck. Okay, it's anything. You can make anything a bonus. You can make it a part of the offer stack. It's up to you. It's your world. We're just living in it. So if you've got it defined, you can, down here at the bottom, I got this baked in. You can use the offer brainstorm Genie to help you come up with cool ideas. And then instead of them being part of the offer stack, they're just ideas for bonuses. You can also go in and ask Genie Chat to help you as well. So you've got a bunch of different things that you can do. And I would also encourage you to review what I talked about earlier as far as looking at a competitor's USP, knowledge, skills, resources, and support as things to brainstorm. And you don't have to have a million bonuses. Okay, that's the other thing. You don't need 20, 30, 40, 50 freaking bonuses. 1 or 2 amazing bonuses is plenty, because as soon as you go beyond 1 or 2, max 3, they're not going to remember what the hell it is. Okay, so that's the key. All right, so I appreciate y'all. Those of you who are already members of Copy and Content, get in there and use the tools. These 3 I just showed you are just a tiny fraction of what you have access to help you come up with amazing offers, to come up with amazing value ladders and all that other good stuff. And if you're not a member, you should be, because this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we can help you do. Because once you've got that offer, once you've got that value ladder, write your whole sales letter, do all your ads, do all your content marketing. We'll even show you how to set it up in an actual funnel using our preferred provider, which is Go High Level. We got all kinds of goodies in here for you. Lots of training, got success maps, an amazing community. I'm not charging enough. You better sign up before we raise the price. So I'm Jim Edwards. Head on over to copyandcontent.ai. Join us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.